Oh my gosh. Guess what? I've got Celine with EuthaBag in the house. Oh my, raise that roof. Yes. Oh my gosh. Her and I have been looking forward to this time together for, I think, a month now. And we're finally here. We had a big, huge catch up time before I finally said, I got to hit record here. We got to do this thing. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited and so honored for her support of our association, of our tribe. We were just trying to figure out, what are we? And I said, we are such a tribe, we are such a family, and we are such a village, right? So Celine's going to be with us in Tampa. She has been a huge supporter of ours. And you know what I wanted to do? I wanted you guys to get to know her a little bit, because her passion for what we do, her support for what we do, it's exactly what we need. And I had her send me some things that I wanted to talk about today, that she wanted to talk about today. And you know what I love? Here's what I love. I can feel in her words how much she wants to help us make the experience with these families be exactly what it should be. And there's so many elements in the details of what Celine is going to talk about, that at every moment, and you guys know me, you've heard me yip and yap on this for years, every detail counts, because what they remember, my friends, what they remember is the thing that they most last see. Yeah, there's some bad grammar for you, and I did it on purpose because I want you to remember it. They remember what happened most last. And as they're seeing their precious love being taken away and into your care or somebody else's care, what we want them to see is the most beautiful thing that they cannot unsee. Am I right, Celine? Am I right? Jump on this bandwagon with me. Get on. Get on this bus.
you, you are the communication queen. Exactly. I mean, I I can't say enough how much I appreciate what you're doing, and this passion, this fire that is burning, and you have the words that I don't have. But yeah, it's exactly it. We're like sisters in what we're doing at each end of North America and the world. It's exactly it. As a little girl, I wanted to be a vet. I wanted to make a difference, and that became an obsession, like a lot of us. And then I did that, and I had absolutely no training on how to handle so much emotion, so much love, so much pain, and everything. And I was just there, the little girl, 25 years old. I was putting glasses on at the time because I looked too young. And now I'm putting them to see your beautiful face. But, and then I didn't know. I know how to handle animals pretty well, but people that were in pain, I just didn't know what to do. And I was freezing, and I was just like, yeah. So then with years, I realized how impactful that was. When I first started to do euthanasia on beloved pets, I had never lost a pet. I had lost my dog, was just disappeared, and that's all. And I'd lost some squirrels I saved,
Oh,
and some little birds, and chickens and everything I was raised with, but I had never lost a beloved pet, and I had to handle it all by myself with no training.
mm,
That was painful. So
mm.
I'm on a mission. I'm passionate about that because I had to learn the hard way. Having people screaming at me, just kill the dog, because I couldn't find the vein, because I didn't have the appropriate sedation protocol. And I'll remember till the day I died, that lady that was screaming at me, just kill the dog. And I couldn't find the vein. I was in the car, and the dog was
God.
moving and everything. So it's just like crazy how they can throw us out in the universe and figure it out ourselves. So nowadays, at least, we have all these tools and webinars and websites and platforms,
Mm.
and this amazing conference will be at, sharing tips and see what works, and
Yeah.
so yes. And exactly, one day that lady came into my room for a kitten vaccination, and she started crying. She looked at me, she saw my face, and then I saw the connection. She just like looked at me and started crying, like, oh, what's going on? I was like 20 something. And she said, oh, no, it's fine, but you're the one that put down my cat.
Oh,
Oh. And they're like, when was that? Oh, it's just a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh, a couple of years ago. Okay. And what happened? It's like, no, everything was fine. It was beautiful, but it's just seeing you. And then my life like changed. I went, oh God, this is so deep. This is so important. I'm there to make a difference. And I did not realize that that was a big thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then from there, a whole door opened, and I thought, God, I gotta do better. I knew it, but it was bigger than I thought, because you do that euthanasia, you do their best, and then you kind of have to forget about it. When you leave the clinic, you try not to think about that, otherwise it's too much.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because sometimes I had to do it 8 times in one day, 8 families. Yeah,
Yeah.
8 crises. And anyway, so you just go like, okay, forget about it, and just remember the ones that really went bad or really went well, but the rest you just gotta forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how
Now,
it happened.
I always talk about, I came out of the human funeral industry, and there used to be a book we would have to read, and it was called "It's Not Just Another 2 o'clock Funeral," and it was a reminder to us that that person in that casket was somebody's father and somebody's brother and somebody's friend and somebody's grandson and somebody's son, and it was a reminder for us that said, stop just going through the motions. You've got to connect all of that together. And the fact that it was our eighth one for the day, okay, and that can happen in the funeral business. We could have had 8 today, but back to your point, Celine, if it was our eighth one today, okay, here's what we as professionals need to remember. It may have been the only one for me, the only one I've ever done, the only one I've ever had to make the call on. And so that, when you put it in perspective and you say, I have to do everything because this little pup with the name of Buddy, when for the rest of their life, when it comes to remembering that chapter of their life, I will always be associated with that chapter because I was the one that did that. I was the one there. And when you think about how many life stories your name is a part of and your face is a part of, it's a little overwhelming, right? But on the other hand, what a huge honor we've
It's a
been.
privilege, I was going to
It's a
say. Yeah, it's just a
privilege.
privilege. Yeah, we all know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've called
And
us in, but we have to do our best.
exactly. And we all do. And this is what amazes me about this association. Just like when I was in Chicago 2 years ago, I couldn't believe how nice the tribe was, and everybody, and so caring and so lovable. And yeah, we're all there for the good reasons. And
Yeah.
then, and something else that happened is that one client I had, what really gave me the kick, for this EuthaBag project, is that one lady, that like your best client, she's beautiful, looked like you, short hair, blonde, stylish. She's from England. Her animals are her babies. She comes in a convertible car. Always wants to do everything. I love her. She brings us cookies, everything. And then one day, I had to put down her dog on the surgery table. He had generalized cancer. I had to put him down. We knew it was a possibility. And then she says, I want to take my baby home. I'm like, okay. What am I going to put him in? I've got no box. Cardboard box? No, he's too big. God. Trash bag. I have to put the rear end in a trash bag because of the situation. I couldn't do the blankets or anything because of the surgery and the wound and everything. And then she left with her baby and in the convertible car with the rear end in the garbage bag. I'm like, this is not enough. This lady is she's so wonderful, and all the trust she puts in me. I'm like, this is not enough. That's it. Enough of, what can I do? What can I find? What should I do? I'm like, just do something, Celine. You need to find an option. So I looked on the market, couldn't find anything. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I can do this.
I got this.
Yeah, I'll design a product. I don't know how to do a surgery. I'll just grab a book and okay, blah, 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 and there we go. And like, I'll just design a product and put it on the market. Like everybody's gonna love it. We need it. Like we don't have anything. For some reason, nobody took the time because everybody's so busy. And we all kind of want to forget about these moments where we go to the freezer with the garbage bag, like, do it.
Right?
I truly hold my breath. I'm like, and then, okay. And we all do that, right? There's like this momentum where we
Hate it.
yeah.
Hate
Anyway,
it.
so that's how it happened, just because of wanting to honor the trust. Because I'm like, if this lady would, or like she knew because she saw it, but the other people that didn't see what I was doing and I had to hide, I'm like, I don't want them to know that I do this. And I'm like, no, this is not how we practice medicine. Like we always show what we do and we talk about what we're going to do and why we do it. Anyways, so that's how it's all
Yeah.
started.
So I have a question. That was your defining moment. Do you remember the name of the dog?
No, I'm trying. I will remember it tomorrow morning when
Of
or
course.
just after this interview is done. But yeah, I don't remember her name, but I remember her. Yeah, the dog itself and how she was and the lady and everything. But
I love it. I like, and it always does. It points back to a defining moment that says, listen, this can be done better. And I love the fact that it's like, why would I rely on somebody else to do that? I'm gonna make it better. I can do that. I got
well,
this.
I tried really. I looked online, and the only option that is available still in the US. I ordered a sample, and I'm like, oh, almost, but no, it's gonna leak through the zipper, so that doesn't work. It can't go in the convertible back seat. Yeah, so I was hoping somebody would do it for me, but as they say, frustration is the mother of invention. I was just frustrated with the options that I could find on the market. And like, okay, they
Yes.
just didn't make sense. They were kind of pretty, but not open on the right side. Like nothing was working for us in practice. So
I
I'm like,
love it.
okay, I'll do
Okay,
it.
you know what? You just gave me a good question. So I want you to talk to me. You got that sample in, it wasn't quite right. You believed it should be done different. So I want you to tell me all the elements of that bag that you designed, and maybe it's gone through a couple iterations. So maybe you started out with a beta bag. That was your start. And then you went, no, that doesn't work. So I got to tweak that and I got to do this and I got to do that. And then all of a sudden, voila, we had perfection. And so give me the roadmap. Tell me what that looks like.
Well, I had this bag with the zippers opening on the sides, so leakage was obvious it was going to happen. And then it looked a bit like a hockey bag. I'm like, no, I want it to look like neutral. It's like blue with really heavy duty material and everything. But for me, I wanted something like a medical supply. All I could find was things with a ribbon and very personalized, looking a bit too funeral, if you want.
Yeah,
You know
gotcha.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wanted something medical, like that everybody could like the color and the style, just like plain. Yeah. So, but at first I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make something a little Asian, like Japanese origami kind of thing that you fold. And then I went with like a string and a pouch, and then I went with an absorbent pad and how many things. And I got back to just something really simple, and I wanted it to be expandable. I think that might interest you, because as a teenager, I lost one of my friend. She was kidnapped and murdered. We looked for her for They looked for her for months. Finally, I was walking in the street and I saw on the front page of the newspaper her name, and I saw the body bag they put her in, and I saw my friend's little feet sticking up like that,
Oh,
and I was like 18 years old, and I'm like, and I thought, I can't believe that you're doing this. Like, you're showing my friend's shape on the newspaper. Like, so I thought, I don't want anything. I want a body bag that you cannot see where is what. This is just sacred. This is wrapping. This is protection. This is dignity.
mhm.
And so I wanted something expandable. I want something that where you don't know where's what. It's just something there, right? And you keep your image of the person alive, not with, her feet are there and she's there and how's her face. And anyways, I got a lot of imagination, as you can see. So for me, it was very important to have something expandable. Okay, so expandable, neutral. And then at first, I'm like, I want something white. I think you're gonna understand that. I'm like, no black. I hate the black garbage bag. I can't stand the smell, the sight, the noise it makes. I hate it. So I'm like, I want something white. So I made the first version was white. It doesn't work, end of life, hair, la la la. So I had to move to something else. But yeah, that's basically what I did. And then I worked with a lady that was designing firefighters uniforms to try to find a leakage solution, something simple and really as simple as possible. As you know, making simple is sometimes complex. So that's with that lady that we find a double fold like she did in the firefighters uniforms to prevent leaks and everything. So yeah, and then I have my uncle is a prop guy, and he also helped me find how to fold the fabric to make an expandable gusset as simple as possible that anybody could make anywhere on the planet. Yeah, and that's basically the evolution we've had, and now we're trying to move. So at the first place, I wanted to do a product that was made in North America with all recyclable material. So again, in my first version with the white color, there was a lot of recycled material, and it was not sturdy enough. It was just not working for the big dogs. So we had to move away from recycle a little bit, include a little bit more raw material, but we're still having a high level of recycled material. But this is all evolving. This has been 5 years, and now I want to move back to finding a solution with 100% recycled material. This is our new, like, where we're trying to, because there's so much plastic on the planet and nobody knows what to do with it. And everybody's like, oh, let's put it in the recycle bin. Well, nobody knows what to do with plastic. There's too much plastic. So EuthaBag could be a way to at least bring this, give it a second life. So this is what we're doing now. As far as the design, I find it works for me as a vet, and that we have very good feedback. But we're really trying to work on the footprint of the product. And that'd
Girl,
be great. Just 100% recycled material.
that's
Right
amazing.
now we're at like 70, but would like to move to 100.
You know, and I gotta believe there's a lot of people listening to this. I'm over here, my brain is just swirling, and it's like anything, you know, you show up with this beautiful product and you're like, oh, she gave that one thought, came up with this. It was perfection right out the gate. And it's like, no, do you know how many iterations this went through? Do you know how many times I love that. And the fact that you did such a deep dive onto zippers and gussets and recyclable stuff. I mean, who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk that was the whole
Sure.
thought process? I mean, of course we have to think that way, but you don't. You just look down and see pure perfection, you
Yeah,
know?
I have a box of all the prototype we went through, and sometimes I'm like, should I just throw it out in the garbage or what? I'm like, no, I'm gonna
No,
keep, I'm gonna keep it because it's just the evolution of the
you
product.
have to
Yeah.
keep that. You have to keep it. Okay, so let's springboard. Kathy Cooney and I just did a research project, and a massive research project, and Lori Kogan was on there in Summerbrook. So there was 4 of us that did this project. And one of the things that we did talk about was what people expected and wanted to see, needed to see, okay, not wanted, but needed to see with their precious loves. And I love the word you used. The body is sacred. That's that in the funeral business, it is a sacred vessel. Everything to do with the body is treated as a sacred thing. And so I heard you say that. And so one of the things that we found is that there is a significant portion of people who who need to see their pet's body treated as that sacred vessel. Talk to me about that and how that feeds into what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's most of the people. So really, truly, I really respect the people that don't mind how their pet's body is
Sure.
handled. There are, because they think, it's the end, that's it. I don't mind. Perfect. But usually, in vet med, we're always asked to offer all the options, offer the best option first, and then you go, the option one, A, B, C, D, E. But for that matter, for some reason, there's no options offered. It's just
Right.
not talked about. It's like, and then people think that their pet's body is going to vanish in the universe, but we know that's not the case. But we don't talk about it because we have so many other things to talk about.
Right.
Too many things to stuff in that one appointment. So it's just the fact that so your study showed that only 15% of
Mhm.
the people find it's so, and we did our own survey as well, and we had the same result. We had 18%. I even did some vox pop on the street. I'm like, what do you think, if your pet would be put in a cadaver bag, plastic bag. And some people say, I don't mind. So we even, like, all the different angles I looked at, same numbers. So there's 85% that care about that. And I just think that in any other thing we do in vet med, we should go for the higher standard.
Absolutely.
That's all. That's what we do for pain management, for surgery material, everything. So it's just strange that that vets are so used to that habit, and they say, well, people don't see it. Excuse me. Like when I put a little pillow under the animal's head for dentistry so he's comfy, and when I put his tongue back so he looks good, like nobody knows. Like, they don't know. Why do I do that? It's just that. So that's why I love this field of aftercare, because it's like, we need to shed light on that. You totally know that, and you're the best to do that. It's just like, it can be rewarding. It can feel good to talk about it and feel that you did everything you could. Even if nobody's watching, nobody knows. I know I did the best from the beginning till the very end, till I closed that freezer. I feel good. I didn't want that anymore. It's so challenging in vet med. And when I had to feel bad and hide, I'm like, come on, guys. I don't need that.
Celine,
I'm a champion.
Let's go with that for a minute. When I have to feel bad and I have to hide and I have to make up words and I have to make it pretty and I have to try to make it pretty and I have to make it sound pretty, that's a lot of work. Versus at the end of the day, and even with families that used to tell me, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter to me, I'd say, but it matters to me. Exactly. It matters to me because I have my hallmark of what I stand for and how pets should be treated and how their bodies should be respected, living and dead. And at the end of the day, when I can lay my head on the pillow, just like you're saying, and say, today I did everything according to the hallmark of what's important to me. And I need to know that I did that. I'm not tired at the end of the day. I'm not fatigued at the end of the day because I had disconnects going with, oh, well, that family said they didn't care, so I'm going to go ahead and shove that pet into a garbage bag and just dump him into the freezer, and that's going to work for me. That ain't going to work for me. That's not how this thing rolls. It's not how we're going to roll.
No, exactly.
And I also believe, tell me what you think here. I believe people don't know what they don't know. And so when they say to us, it doesn't matter, I do believe there's some people, it doesn't matter. But to be able to say to us, it doesn't matter, is the path of least resistance. And it's easier to say that than to think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And more people want to think about it when their pet is alive and healthy now. People start thinking about that. That wasn't like that 20 years ago. So it's very interesting. It's evolving so fast. And actually people, it's surprising now, they want to hear you talk about it. Well, and that's what your study's showing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They want some information before and by us, and we're part of the equation. One more thing we need to talk about.
Agree. And you know what? I always practice. I want to leave the families that we're working with, the families that are walking in this dark journey right now. I want to leave them with things that they can't unsee, unhear, and unfeel. And so if I say to them, let me tell you how your precious little baby's body is right now. It's in this beautiful little bag. And I saw that your children wrote a note on it. I want to talk about that, and made their little notes and drew their little pictures and did all their stuff. And that's what they get. They can't unsee that, and forever, as they look at the end of that chapter that had Buddy's name on it, that's what they get to see. Talk to me about the personalization of that whole process, because it is so experiential. Talk to me.
Exactly. And experiential is the name. And the little objection that we have, or let's say mindset in vet med, is we sometimes base our choices on the 1% of people that complain. So that we're just like traumatized with cost, because we're being told all the time it's too expensive, that we think that people won't want to spend. The average price of EuthaBag is $8. It's like 2 coffees, or I don't know what it is. It's equivalent to what? It's like, this is for a body, a sacred body, sacred vessel. So we just gotta realize in what mindset we are because of the situation. Totally understandable. I live it every day. I need to pick what blood test I'm gonna do because people don't have all the money. It's not unlimited anyways. just go back to your question. Yes, because it's so sacred, because it's an experience. They want to be part of it. I say, just like a father by his wife's side when she's giving birth, he wants to do something, but he can't do anything. So give him something to do, hold the hand or whatever. So same thing for the family. They want to be part of it. So giving them the opportunity to just sign a body bag or draw something or write a letter, put it in the bag with the pet, put his favorite little toy with him. It's just it's excuse me the word, anyways, it's a symbol. It's a symbol. So we found with not playing, but using this product, that we could offer that chance to the families to just participate and make it something special and have an image with it, have another image, have a positive image that they could remember. Because often what I hear is people say, well, I'll put him in blankets and put him in a little basket, and then here I go, there I leave. And it's great. I think it looks great too. But then what happens, and I realized that with years of practice and feedbacks from clients, they'll start thinking. They go like, oh, but then how is he going to go into the chamber in the basket, or no, where are we going to? And then they start thinking, as I find that if they have something covering the body, protecting the body, then they'll go like, oh, okay, he's going to go in this, and it makes sense. It's something made for that. And the rest of the process makes sense. As the blanket and everything, I think a lot of people will start going, I don't think he'll go like that, because I saw my father and he had to have a coffin, and then they start thinking, wondering, go online, and then start seeing weird things on YouTube. So yeah, that's how I see that we could do better and feel better, because otherwise you leave with your patient in a blanket and everything, but then you'll need to put in something in your garage or in your car, and then like again feel bad. Why is that? Because you're assuming your client doesn't want to pay for that. Who told you that? Your study is showing it. 64% of them don't want a trash bag. 20 don't know because they don't want to ask themselves there's these questions, or they were just not aware. So yeah, it's fascinating. I think it's great, because I love my job, because now I talk about end of life all day long. I feel I can make a difference, and we can only do better.
Right. I love it. And you know what? Back to your comment. I think we project too much when people say if it's too expensive or I need it cheaper. And if you ask them the question, if they said your price is too high, and you say, then where do you believe it should be? They don't know that answer either.
That's a good one.
Oh, I always ask that. When they say your price is too high, I say, what do you believe it should be? And they're like, we're wired as human beings to always say it's too high. We're always wired.
We're wired. I love it.
We're wired that way. But when we're asked for expectations of what the number looks like, I don't know that answer either. And so when you either ask them to verbalize that, or better yet, you have your value far outweigh the price they paid, then they'll never question your price. That's where you should be. That's what we should be looking at. So, okay, listen, girl, we got 1 minute left. Final words before we see your gorgeousness in Tampa. Final words for our group.
Oh, wow. you didn't send me that question before. No, just really looking forward to meet you all and share. It's all about sharing. We do our little things the best we can. We're so committed, we're so dedicated, we're so perfectionist, and we're yet isolated in our little reality. And just to be able to share and talk, and even if we don't agree, because we all have our little things that work for us. It's my little protocol, it works fantastic, but just so amazing to share together and do better, because we all want to do better and we all can, and it's just amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what, hey you guys, I got to tell you something. Listen up. She's going to be on the stage too. She's talking, she's speaking. We get to hear a whole hour of that one.
Yeah, because we could both talk for 8 hours. But
oh my gosh.
That's the most we've been able to talk,
I know.
in so many years, seeing each other in all these shows. And yeah, really
we're changing that in Tampa though. We're changing that. Coffee, and we're just going to solve all the world's problems right there on that table. Yes, we are. Okay, sweetie. We will see you in Tampa. And everybody, she's speaking. Pop by the EuthaBag booth, and I know she's got some good stuff going on. So we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Thank you so much. Good luck with your roof there.
Oh yeah, forgot to say that to everybody. Got a little roofing action. So if you're wondering all this activity, that just had to happen today.
Yeah.
But adapt and overcome, right? Adapt and overcome. Love it. Love it. Love it. See y'all.